Hello there. Welcome to React training session. And in this session, I would like to tell you about the React hooks. So, what is a React hook? Uh, hooks are the new addition. Hooks are the new addition in React 16.8. So, they let you use the state and other React feature without writing a class. So, it is a new addition, as the definition says. It's a new addition to the React, uh, and it comes in the 16.8 version only, 16.8 and above. So prior to that version, there was no hooks available. So so now next, we can call the hooks is a replacement to the React class component. So we can do all the things which we can do with a class component using the hook in a functional component. So to elaborate this, earlier in the React version of 16 point, prior to the version of the 16.8, there was only way to use the stateful logic, or we can say state and the uh, uh, life cycle methods inside the component was to use the class component only. So after the version 16.8, we can, with the addition of the hooks, we can use the state and the uh, component lifecycle methods, like a component did mount, component did update, and component will unmount in a functional based component as well, with the addition of hooks only. So earlier the class based component was called as a stateful component, and functional based component was calling as a stateless component. Only because of that, because we were not able to use the state and other lifecycle methods, like a class component in a functional component, so that it was called as stateless component earlier for the functional based component. But after the addition of 16.8, we can do all the things what we were able to do with the class based component. Now, after the 16.8 version, we can use the React state inside the functional based component. Also, we can use the component lifecycle methods like component did mount, component did update, or component will unmount in a um, function based component with the help of use effect hook. So again, prior to the version 16.8, the functional component was only for rendering the UI, and it was not for the business logic. So that it was called earlier as stateless component, as I said earlier. So now let's move to next. So there are the few rules to define the hooks. So hooks can only be called inside the React functional component. So if you want to use the hook, you should only call it from the React functional component. You should not call it from the other JavaScript file, or from class-based component. So you should call only within a React functional component. So second rule is hook can only be called at the top level of the component. So let's say you have the one functional component, so you should call your hooks only at the top level. So third rule is, make sure not to use a hook inside the loop or if condition or nested function. So third rule says not to use the hook inside the any kind of loop like while, for, or do while. Mm, and you cannot use the hook inside the condition, or if condition, or switch, or nested functions. Uh, so you must use the hook at the top level only. So these are the three rules to using the hooks. So what are the types of hooks? So React provides a few types of hook, like use state, use effect, use reducer, and use context, and use ref. Those are the very commonly used hook by the developer nowadays for the functional component. But there are the few other optimization hook also available. Two hooks are there, that is use callback and use memo, and two redux hook are available, like use selector and use dispatch. And also we have custom hook as well, means we can create our own custom hook as well using the React. So this was all about the hooks. So thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, please hit the like button, and don't forget to subscribe.